Welcome back to the deep dive. So we're continuing our journey through Dante's Divine Comedy, and today we're landing in Purgatorio, Canto 2.
Yeah, picking right up where we left off, really. And we've heard from quite a few of you wanting us to look for those, well, those life lessons hidden in these cantos.
Exactly. This feels like a natural continuation from the Inferno, building on what we've already discussed. So if you're new here, maybe check those earlier deep dives out.
Good point.
Yeah.
Because this shift is pretty dramatic. Imagine Dante and Virgil stepping out of that oppressive darkness and onto the shore of purgatory. It's dawn.
That dawn is so important, isn't it? Symbolically.
Hugely. You've got light replacing darkness, an open shore instead of being trapped.
Yeah.
It signals hope, transformation, a new
Yeah.
phase beginning.
Like stages in our own lives, a definite shift in tone.
Absolutely. It feels like taking a deep breath.
It really does. And Canto 2 just throws us right into this new atmosphere. It's all about the start of that purification process.
We see these souls arriving. So, okay, picture this. Dawn on this beach. Dante and Virgil are kind of ticking it all in. And then this light appears way out on the water, gets closer, and it's a boat. But it's guided by an angel, carrying souls arriving to purgatory. And what immediately hit me was, well, how different it was from the arrival in hell. Canto 3, remember? Chiron's boat, all that chaos and shouting.
Oh, it's night and day. A deliberate contrast, for sure. In hell, remember, they were cursing, full of rage and despair. Here, these souls step onto the shore and they're singing together.
Singing. What are they singing?
The text points it out specifically. It's the psalm, In Exitu Israel de Egypto.
When Israel went out of Egypt.
Exactly. It's all about the Israelites being freed from slavery in Egypt. A massive symbol for, the soul's liberation from being enslaved by sin. It sets the tone immediately. This is a place of hope, of shared purpose.
Wow, yeah. Liberation from slavery.
Yeah.
That's potent, especially right after hell.
Yeah.
It gives you a completely different feeling. And you mentioned shared purpose.
Yeah.
They arrive together, singing together. There's a sense of community right away.
Yes, that's a key difference from hell's total isolation, isn't it? Here, there's this understanding, maybe subconscious at first, that this journey of purification is something they do, well, not alone.
Right, right. And then you get this moment that feels so, so human. Dante spots someone he knows among the newcomers. Casella, his friend, a musician from back on Earth. And Dante, instinctively tries to hug him, forgetting he's a spirit now. But that connection, that affection, it's still there.
It's a beautiful touch. It really shows how these souls, they carry their pasts, their relationships with them. It bridges that gap between, earthly life and this spiritual realm. These connections matter.
Yeah. They do. And Dante, remembering Casella's talent, asks him for a song. And Casella sings one of Dante's own poems, actually. And the text says everyone, even Virgil, just stops, listens, completely captivated.
It's a lovely image. Music here is shown as this incredibly moving thing, something that just pulls everyone in, unites them for a moment, almost like it speaks directly to the soul, which was kind of a medieval idea anyway. Pure pleasure.
Pure pleasure, yeah. But, as often happens when things feel too nice on a journey of growth.
There's always a but, isn't there?
There is. Suddenly, Cato shows up. He's the stern guardian figure of purgatory shores, and he lays into them. All of them. Dante, Virgil, the souls, everyone.
Right. For what?
For lingering. For getting lost in the music instead of getting on with the main job. Heading up the mountain to start their purification.
And this is such a crucial point, Cato's intervention, because notice the music itself isn't condemned, is it? It's the act of getting so absorbed in it, however beautiful, that they forget why they're there. They lose focus on the goal. It makes you ask, doesn't it? What are the Casella songs in our own lives?
Ooh, good question. Let's unpack that for you listening. This idea of pleasant distractions. It's so easy to get sidetracked, isn't it? And often it's not by obviously bad things.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the good stuff, the enjoyable things that we get so wrapped up in that we just lose momentum.
Yeah.
On whatever path we're trying to follow.
Exactly. It could be anything, really. A hobby that takes up all your time, maybe a comfortable routine you never step out of, even spending too much time looking back at fond memories, staying stuck.
Yeah. Even something beautiful like this music can become a roadblock if it stops you moving forward.
Precisely.
And that kind of ties into another lesson that seems to be bubbling up here. Needing to detach, maybe from the past, even good things in the past. Well, Dante obviously loved his friend Casella, loved his music, but he couldn't just stay there on the beach listening forever. He had to move on. It feels like a reminder that sometimes growth means letting go, even letting go of cherished memories or relationships if they're holding you back.
It's a delicate balance, though. It's not about erasing the past or pretending it didn't happen, more about not letting it anchor you so much you can't sail forward. These souls are aiming higher now. Earthly pleasures, even sweet ones, can't be the focus.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Not erasing, but not being anchored. And there's also this idea I think about desires. Like they need reordering.
Reordering, yeah. Explain that a bit.
Well, like music and art, they aren't bad in themselves, of course not. But here, in Purgatory, they need to take a back seat to the main goal, which is purification.
Hmm.
So for us, maybe it means our own desires, our passions, they aren't the enemy, but they need to be aligned, pointed in the right direction towards our bigger purpose.
Yeah, and what's interesting there is the suggestion that even strong desires can be fuel, right, when they're channeled properly. The beauty of Casella's song isn't denied, it's just put in its place, secondary to the main journey. How do we weave our passions into life without them becoming the whole story? Or worse, a distraction?
Good question. And we see that community thing again, don't we?
We do.
They arrive together, they sing together, even if they get distracted together briefly. It's the complete opposite of the isolation in hell. It really suggests there's strength in, shared experience when you're trying to grow or purify yourself.
Absolutely. That communal aspect is just crucial. It underlines that these paths of, let's say, self-improvement or overcoming things, they're often better, maybe easier, certainly more meaningful when there's connection. Shared struggle, shared support. We're not really meant to do it all alone.
Makes sense. And finally, there's Cato's telling off, not just as him being grumpy, but almost as an act of love, or care, anyway.
How so? Love seems a strong word for telling people off.
Well, the idea is he's guiding them, pushing them towards their ultimate good, even if it means interrupting something pleasant, making them uncomfortable for a moment. Discipline here is shown as a kind of necessary guidance, like tough love, maybe.
That's a really insightful way to look at discipline, isn't it? It challenges that idea that caring always means being soft or indulgent. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself or someone else is to nudge them forward. Encourage growth, even if it means leaving a comfortable spot.
Yeah. So, okay, thinking about this second canto, we've got a few key takeaways that seem pretty relevant to, well, to us, to anyone, really.
Let's recap them.
Right. There's the danger of pleasant distractions, the subtle ones. There's the need for a healthy detachment from the past, maybe. Reordering our desires so they serve our main goals. The importance of community. And seeing discipline sometimes as a form of care.
Mm-hmm. These aren't just dusty old ideas from a poem. They're pretty practical guides for navigating our own stuff.
Absolutely. Dante's insights into just being human, they still hit home.
They really do.
So maybe something for you listening to mull over as you go about your day. What's the seemingly harmless music in your life?
Mm-hmm.
What's that pleasant thing that just might, be subtly pulling you off course from your bigger goals?
Yeah.
What might you need to gently detach from, even if it feels good right now, to really move forward on whatever path you're on?
It's a powerful question. Definitely food for thought.
Indeed it is. Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Purgatory's second canto.
Exploring these texts together is always insightful.
It really is. Finding those connections across centuries.
And this was our 36th deep dive together. We really look forward to exploring more with you next time.